I'm sure you must be seeing this beautiful Zara dress trending online. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to cut and sew this trending Zara dress. And if this sounds like something you're interested in, ensure to watch till the end. Let's get started. So to make this Zara dress, you need the following materials. I have my thread, I have my measuring tape, my scissors, my paper scissors and fabric scissors, my curves, that's my pattern curves, and also this beautiful fabric here. So I have this fabric, they call it poly or azongere. So it stretches on one side and the other side doesn't stretch at all. So I also have my pattern paper, and the measurement needed to make this dress will be on the screen. So I went on to divide my paper in two, just like I did here. And then I also mark out the length, that's from the shoulder to where the length of the gown will stop before the ruffles. So mine is measured as 32 inches before the ruffles. So adding the ruffles will make it to be about 38 to 40 inches. I want mine longer, and I'm also quite tall. So I'm going to impute our vertical measurement right now. That's from the shoulder line to the nipple point, which is 10.5 inches, then to the waistline 18 inches, and then from the waistline I'll come down by 9 inches for the hip line, which is what I am marking down there. I will do the same thing at this other side and make it in a straight line. On the shoulder line, I'll come in from the center front by 7.5 inches, which will be our shoulder width. That the shoulder I'm working with is 15 inches divided by 2, which gives 7.5 inches. And I'll do our shoulder dropping for 1 inch. And to get our armhole on the arm side measurement, we need to divide the bust measurement by 6 plus 1 or 1.5 inches, depending on your body size. So that's what I did here, and I got about 7.5 inches, which I marked there. So I'll make it up in a straight line, and that line becomes our chest line. So on the chest line, I'll come in from the center front by 7.5 inches and make it in a straight line. That's the shoulder width measurement divided by 2. That's what I marked there. And this is our chest line, our bust line, our waistline as WL, and also the hip line, and that's the length of the gown. So I'll mark our bust measurement, that's the round bust divided by 4, which gave us about 9 inches that I marked there. So on the arm side or the armhole line, I'm going to divide what I have there by 2 and then mark it there and come in by half inch and then connect it. This is not really necessary because the sleeve of this dress is quite different, like it's sleeveless, so we don't really need that measurement. From the center front, I'll come in by 3 inches on the shoulder line and then come down by 3 inches as well. So that's the basic neckline that I just drafted there. So we're going to alter it now to the neckline for this dress. So for the neckline of those Zara dress, you can decide to go in by 5 inches and not the 3.5 inches that I used for mine. You can go in by 5 inches and then connect it like this. So ensure that you've drawn your basic measurement or your basic neckline before going in by 5 inches. So I'm just going to extend the round bust measurement on the bust line, and on the waistline I'll divide the waist measurement, which is 29 divided by 4, which will give us about 7.25 inches, but I use 7.5 inches there. So I'm just going to connect it like so and also connect it to the waistline like this. So on the hip line, I'm just going to divide the hip measurement, which is 41 divided by 4, which give us about 10.25 inches that I marked there. And I'm just going to connect it like so. So to the hem of the dress or to the down part of this gown, I'm going to extend the hip line measurement downwards just like this, or you can go in by half inch away from the hip line measurement. So I'm done connecting those points like this. I'm just going to highlight that place or make it to be more curved. And for this dress, we'll only be using the bust dart. So I'm just going to mark the nipple to nipple measurement there, which is 8 divided by 2, which give us 4 inches. And from the bust line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch and connect it to that nipple point that I just marked there. And for the back of this dress, I'm just going to repeat almost the same thing I did for the front. So from the shoulder, I'll come down for the chest line by 8.5 inches, just there, and then make it in a straight line. And I'll also come down from the shoulder to the waistline, which is 17 inches. And from the 17 inches, I'll come down by 9 inches for the hip line for the back. So I'll repeat the same thing here and make it in a straight line. Note that due to the 1 inch bust dart for the front, the shoulder to waistline measurement for the back is going to be shortage of 1 inch. So that 1 inch is what I am minusing at the down part like this. So I'm just going to minus it there. So that place will be cut out. So I'll come in from the center back by 7.5 inches for the shoulder width measurement and come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slant. Extend the shoulder measurement on the chest line and connect it like so. I'm going to also extend the round bust measurement on the chest line for the back like this. That's 9 inches like that. So I'm just going to divide what I have there around the arm side and also coming by ½ inch. Like I said earlier, this particular measurement is not necessary for this style or for this Zara dress. So I'll connect it like this and then go ahead for the neckline. I'll come in by 3 inches first and then connect the slanted shoulder like that. And on the waistline, I'm just going to mark our round waist measurement, which is 29 divided by 4, which gave us 7.25 inches. And then on the hip line, the same thing, extending the measurement downwards. And then I'm just going to connect it like this. So for the back neckline, it all depends on how deep you want yours to be. So for mine, I'm just going to come up by 2 inches from the waistline and then make it in a straight line like this. You can decide to go up 4 inches, 5 inches, depending on how deep you want yours to be. So I'm just going to also come in from the center back like so by 4 inches and connect it with a straight line. I'll also give it a little bit of a U shape at the down part, just like this. And for the zip part, so on the waistline, I'm just going to come in by ½ inch and then extend it to the hip line just like I'm doing. And also go ahead to extend the ½ inch to the 2 inches I came up with. And this becomes our center back for the dress. And then on the shoulder part, I'm just going to adjust the shoulder a little bit. I'll come in by 3 inches from that top and then connect it to the armhole. You can use 2 inches or 1.5 inch if you want yours to be tinier than mine. I just wanted mine a little bit bolder, so I'll connect it to the armhole just like I'm doing. I'll also repeat the same thing I did for the back at the front. That's on the shoulder. I'll come in by 3 inches like so and then connect it to the armhole. So if you notice from the front and back pattern, due to the 1 inch bust dart that we did for the front, the back length, that's the shoulder to waistline for the back, is 1 inch higher than the front, but that is not an issue. So I'll go ahead to cut it. I went ahead to also add 1 inch allowance by the sides like this and cut it out. I'll just extend the dart line like this and go ahead to relabel the pattern. I also went ahead to add 1 inch allowance at the side of the back pattern and I'll go ahead to cut them out. I'll also relabel the pattern like I did for the front, the chest line, the waistline, the hip line, and then there's the hemline. So this is it for the front and the back pattern for the Zara dress. I'll go in now to bring in the fabric we're working with, and this is it here. So we're going to fold the fabric to the part that stretches. The part that stretches will be on the horizontal part. So I'm just going to place it and fold it in two like so and place my pattern on it. And this is it here when I must have done that. I'll go ahead to add ½ inch allowance around there, and to the zip side I'll add 1 inch allowance there, ½ inch downwards like so, ½ inch around the armhole, shoulder and the neckline, and cut it out. So if you that is watching this video and you haven't subscribed to this channel, I don't know what you're waiting for, because this is a safe place where I share my knowledge in tailoring and fashion designing at large. And after cutting them out, for the front pattern, I'm just going to notch that bust dart, that's the side bust dart there. And after that, I went ahead to cut out lining. It's a short lining for the front and also for the back. Also a short lining just to cover up the neckline area and the armhole area as well. So guys, it's time to start sewing. So I'm just going to unpin the front pattern like so and open it up like this. The first thing we are going to do is to put our side darts. So remember the place that I notched earlier, that's where I'm going to put the side darts. I'm just going to mark it there. Before that, I'll bring in the pattern paper like so. Then I'll measure the length of the side bust darts. So I measured 6 inches from the allowance that I gave. Then I'm just going to mark the 6 inches there. That will serve as the length of the bust dart and mark it there. Also the same thing I will do for this other side and go ahead to sew it using half inch. So this is how it looks when I was done sewing it. The next thing we are going to do is to bring in the lining piece, that's the facing for the dress, and then I'm just going to place it front facing each other like so and go ahead to use that half inch allowance we gave to sew along the neckline, also along the armhole area like this. And for the sides, I'm not going to sew there. So I'll go ahead to do this. And also for the back, let me just show you what to do at the back area. So for the back, we're just going to unpin the pattern from the fabric and then go ahead to open it up like this. You know, the back don't have any bust dart, so no need of putting that at the back. So I'm just going to place the lining like this, front facing each other, and also to the other side, I'll place the lining like so, and also use the same half inch that we gave for the dress to sew along the neckline like this and also along the armhole like this. And for the sides, we're not going to sew anything there. And guys, this is it here when I was done turning both the front and the back lining piece to the main dress. So this is it here, and this is the front part, this is the inside, this is how it stretches. And for the back, this is it here. I also went ahead to also turn the neckline and the armhole area like so. So the next thing we're going to do for the back is to put in the zip. I'm just going to place the fabric like so, front facing each other like this, front of the fabric facing each other like this. And this is the stock zip that I'll be working with. I don't want it to go to the down part, so I went on to impute the zip like so. It didn't get to the hem of the dress. So this is it here, and this is the organza fabric I'm going to use to do the ruffles for this Zara dress. So to cut this organza fabric, that's to make the ruffles down, this is the paper I'm going to use to make the illustration for you because it's going to be quite big. So let me just use a smaller paper to make the illustration for you. So the paper measures about 15 inches in length. So the main thing is just for you to divide what you have for your fabric. The fabric I'm working with is about 2 yards, 1 yard for front and 1 yard for the back for the ruffles. So I went on to divide it in 3 places like so and mark the line. For the gathers, it's going to go like this in this form, and also on the down part is going to go like this in this form. So after doing this zigzag form, on the top part is just going to go straight. The down part is just going to also go straight. So we're going to run line, a gathered line around there, and then I'll show you what mine looks like. So this is mine when I was done sewing the gathered line and also gathered it. So this is it in that form that I just showed you. So to sew it to the front dress, we're just going to bring in the gathers, the point that we gathered, and bring them all up together like so, and then sew it using one stitch, like one straight line stitch, and sew it on the fabric. So this is just what we're trying to achieve for this dress. Let me just show you what I explained on paper. So after making the gather stitches, we're just going to sew it like this, like bring them all up together in a one row like this, and then stitch it using one stitch. So that's what I did here, and it gave me this beautiful look. So if I'm to advise, I would advise that you run your ruffles all at once to cover both the front and the back at once, not like mine that I did the front separately and the back separately. So this is the front piece, and I'm just going to sew it like this. So I'm just going to put it like this. Be careful of the thread because there'll be a lot of thread around it. So I'm just going to sew it like this using 1/2 inch allowance that we gave for the hem part. And this is it when I was done sewing it to the dress. Guys, you can actually use the same fabric you used to make your dress for these ruffles or for this down part. So I decided to use organza for mine. So you can go ahead to use the same fabric that you use for your dress. So this is it for the front, and I also went ahead to do the same thing for the back. So to join our dresses side by side, I'm just going to place it front facing each other like this, and I will start with the shoulder part and join it. So from the front part, I'm just going to come in like from the under like this, and then pick both shoulders together, that's the back shoulder and the front shoulder together, and bring it in like this. Ensure that they are equally matched, and then I'm just going to sew it using the 1/2 inch allowance we also gave for the dress, and also sew it there. The same thing I'll do for the other side and show you what it looks like. And this is it here after stitching the both shoulders. Like I said earlier, your shoulder can be smaller than mine, just like I explained in the pattern. And to join the sides of the dress, we're just going to reduce our measurements by 1/2 inch or 1 inch, because the fabric I worked on is quite stretchy. But if yours is not stretchy, no need for that. So this is it here when I was done joining the sides, and this is how beautiful the dress turned out to be. Like, I love it, especially the back and the ruffles. I really love the look. So for the sides, like I explained earlier, instead of having this joining at at the side, it's better you do your ruffles all at once instead of having this joining here. So for mine, to cover up that side, because I didn't like the way it was looking, so to cover it up, I'm just going to bring in the ruffles like this, and then use your hand needle to tack it from the inside so that the thread won't show, just like this. I brought it in and tack it. I'll be doing this for both sides so it can relax better. And thank you for watching my video up to this point. If you enjoyed this video and you find it helpful, ensure to like, leave a comment below, and also share to more people. If you haven't subscribed, do that already. Sharing, liking, and commenting on this video help it to get to more people. See you in my next video. Bye.